And hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Sama. I'm Derek Mazzoni. Thanks for being here, wherever you may be in this world right now. We've been doing Sama for about a year and a half. It's been a strange year and a half, obviously, and believe that the music we've been presenting and the artists we've been presenting have made a difference in people's lives. I appreciate all the emails, and I appreciate you spending the time on all the various platforms where we can present healing music, music with intention, music with a sense of tradition, music with a sense of history, music with a sense of humor, but all with the intention of opening hearts, lifting the spirit, and making the day-to-day just a bit easier. And on that note, my dear friends, tonight we've got the Klezmatics, globally renowned world music Klezmer superstars, probably the most successful, the most well-known Klezmer band ever. I first heard the Klezmatics when I was college, and I was working at a great radio station called WMFO at Tufts University, and I got their records, and it was so cool. First, it was like, wow, this is really ancient, and then we found more information about them, and the reaction we got from our audience was really, really strong, and I've been a super fan ever since. Now that I'm here at Sama, and of course I'm here at KXP. Love playing their music, love sharing their energy, and I got a chance to see them live a few times, which is really the best way to catch a band such as the Klezmatics. Unfortunately, that's kind of pouring salt in the wound right now because it is hard to catch anybody live. So when things do open up, please definitely check out the Klezmatics. We've got the full band here, and we're going to be talking about Letters to Afar, a new project, a new record. This is the Klezmatics' 13th and most adventurous release to date. It contains music composed for Hungarian found footage artist Peter Fogaszt. It's an installation of Polish Jewish historical films. The music is evocative, ambient, psychedelic, meditative, and illuminating. It is beautiful work, and I'm really, really digging it. I love playing it on the radio, and I wanted to share this with you on this edition of Summer. But I want to first start with a creativity under COVID project. The Klezmatics found a way to actually record and play, and this is Eins, Eins, Eins by the Klezmatics. And then we'll meet the band, and we'll go right into it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Great work. Eins by the Klezmatics. And check it out. Look at the Klezmatics here right now. Isn't technology just freaking amazing? I want to introduce you to Lawrence Glenberg. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Eric.
I want to introduce you to Lisa Goodkin. Hi, Lisa. I want to introduce you to Frank London. Hi, Frank.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Derek.
I want to introduce you to Matt Dodger. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
And last but not least, Richie Barchet. Great work in that video. How's everybody doing? I know it's tough talking to 6 people that you're not related to. How's life? How's it going? How's your head?
That's nice. It's nice seeing that again. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh, really? Tell me about the song. It's so lovely, and it's so lovely the way you did it. It was just like, I don't know, classic, like New York. I'm gonna make music. I don't care what the hell is going on. I'm gonna make music and just on these stairs. And it's such a great way of using technology. It warmed my heart. So thank you for doing that.
Thanks. It was originally actually for Passover 2020, and it was sort of the first thing that we tried to do during the pandemic, and so our skills at doing things like that were completely, what do you do? So that was our first attempt, and literally I was in the stairwell outside of my apartment, and I tried to get a take where people weren't walking by, and it's on my phone, and the sound is from my phone, and it just was a song that had been floating around, and it seemed like a good thing to latch onto, and so that's what we did, and everybody added their part, and then we mixed it, and Richie did a video mix, and we put it out into the world.
Have you done more of this, or was it like, let's do this, but now I'm living my life here, or vice versa, or you just generating content like crazy?
We did a wonderful concert performance with the Dance Theater of Harlem, where we each did a one-off with a dancer. It was amazing. It was really beautiful. So that was another of our sort of creative pandemic things.
How did that feel?
That was really great, because that was the first thing that I felt that we were doing that was like a new art form, rather than trying to do what we can. I mean, it came out of just doing what you could do in a pandemic, but it ended up being really beautiful. I mean, Frank filmed his. He did one off with one dancer from the Dance Theater of Harlem, and he made his into a video. Some of us did ours live on Zoom, and we had to find ways of working together that weren't too rhythmically rigid, so that it could really flow and work, and it felt just like any other creative project that you would do. It was really fresh and new. So that was a good one.
This is great, and let's watch. Beautiful work, people. Really, really stunning work. A whole bunch of emotions, like as a human, as a what just happened is happening in Afghanistan, and to me personally, as a immigrant, as a Polish person, um, that's what my grandmother looked like. That's what my grandfather looked like. I have pictures. Everybody looks like that. It's beautiful work, very haunting. I'd love to just ask you a couple of questions because I can. What was the mindset in looking at these things and composing to that?
You're thinking of your own emotion toward the subject of what's going on. You're thinking of the subject matter, of course, and then you're thinking, what did Peter want? And so mixing all that together, like I took a melody and I just kind of took little bits of it and stretched it out. So it was this reference to a melody that I had written before. And I was reminded of that melody because I wrote that melody after a train ride. And it was a train ride through Estonia, and there was just some sort of similarity to the footage that I was seeing. The shacks, there was some, housing that looked very old to me, and so this melody kind of came up to my mind, but I wasn't going to use the full melody because I knew Peter was looking for something more extracted. So that was my process.
Well, you have to think about the music serving the film and the filmmaker. He really kept going for want less and more atmospheric and stuff. I mean, film music is often more evocative, atmospheric. So klezmer music isn't always. Sometimes, so I was working with one of these faster melodies, and then just so you have, because you're looking at those film, each image in the film brings up a story. You're just putting yourself back in that time, which is now kind of gone and forgotten, and it's thankfully to these images, you have really kind of a tactile sense, a little bit of what it was like. So you're kind of trying to put your head in that space. So to break up these melodies where there would be, to minimalize them a bit and put gaps and pauses between melodic fragments and stuff, just so that your mind can breathe more and the music breathes more. Then that's what I was thinking would serve the film a little better that way.
So it's more.
Well, I guess I would say, going about it, I think, I'm also speaking how I approached it as a percussionist, but right away I could tell we were working with a different kind of project as a band. And honestly, watching these videos was like kind of a haunting experience. It was just sort of beyond words to like encounter these home videos that looked like they could have been my own family's home videos. And there was something else about that we were collaborating with the filmmaker, Peter Forjaks, and how he did a lot of those dual screens where you had this contrapuntal energy all the time. Like you thought you were in one mood and then all of a sudden he was juxtaposing something else. And I guess I'll just say that was a very provocative experience, I think, for us playing and making music to it, because it was sort of like a built-in sense of, okay, do we have tension here? And what is tension without resolution or without another mood against it, or all of these different juxtapositions. So kind of riffing there a little bit, but it was a haunting experience to me, a beautifully haunting experience.
I work at the YIVO Institute for Jewish Research as a sound archivist, and I remembered that there were these home movies. I think that's where we knew about them from, and I don't remember if I had seen some of them or what the story was, because I'd been associated with YIVA for quite a long time. And then I think we looked for someone who specialized in working with found footage. I believe Frank found Peter Forgach. He was looking for people who did this kind of work, and I think that we contacted him, and the idea was to have something to present at the Poland Museum in Warsaw for their opening. And actually, as things happen sometimes, this installation predated by a couple months the actual opening, but they opened up the museum to have this installation there, and it ended up being kind of like a Vorspeise, like an appetizer for what was going to be in this amazing space. So I think that was kind of how it happened.
Our impetus to come back to the project and re-release the music, even music that hadn't been used in the film installation, was really a wonderful way for us to move forward in the pandemic. It was like, we've done so many recordings, and there are others that are in the archives that we could have relived. But this one seemed like really the most, because you're feeling vulnerable anyway. So to return to a project that is extremely vulnerable was, I think, cathartic for us. I think it was really good to rework these and hear them again and revisit the footage. Most of the album is not attached to footage yet, and we're going to keep doing more, attaching more of the music to the images, because there's still a lot more images that we can work with. So the project is not finished, which is great, because neither is the pandemic. So.
Yeah, no, that's exactly, and thank you for answering. I'm super interested in the process of how people are creating now or not creating, or either just waiting. Some people go to islands and live there, and others are creating new work, new forms. And when I found out about this, I first heard about this from your label. I was like, this is really interesting. Where is this going? How is this going to end up? And it's excited. Let's watch the second video. this music, the pictures that we saw, the video, the film we just saw, knowing what was going to happen to those people, I feel that the music, that this is the vibe that I was getting was watching it. Like the music is the thing that helps you cope with that knowledge and helps you move on and live on.
I mean, all music done in a deep, kind of serious way, hopefully gives sustenance in times like this. And many traditions, many types of music. Then the genre of Yiddish Jewish music that we do is certainly deep, like many others. But I mean, there's kind of a built-in spiritual aspect, of course, to a lot of the roots of the music, and that comes through, I guess, and helps give sustenance in these times. But also, I mean, for me, this is the music. This is one of my chosen musics to work in, and it's super rich and wonderful. All these streams and branches, and great archival documentation of it, kind of like jazz world, early jazz. There's so much stuff from early on that's there's always there's really a deep source of that you can look for inspiration. We did a really good job with composing and working with a tradition in a way that really worked for this. But we also could have done that with another tradition. It's not the only tradition that will serve these images, really, actually.
Really?
I mean, yes, really.
Oh.
I mean, I think you're trying to maybe put a too specific thing or value in this Jewish music or Jewish tradition, which I think is unfair to the broader world of our artistry and tradition. I mean, artistry and music, creative music in general.
That's interesting. Okay.
I think though that the details and the specificity is what's interesting. Yes, of course, one could say there, something general and positive about every culture. Every culture has its history, its depth, its relation to human expression. Yes, that's of course true. And not but in this case, what happens is you have two things: a film artist and musical artist who are both connected deeply to a tradition, and in this case specifically Ashkenazic East European Jewish tradition, and who are dealing with we're both dealing with historical sources, but through our different techniques, we subtly modernize it. We're not reproducing something. It's not a fetishization. It's not a, trying to make believe it's something old, but it creates something new, and it becomes a powerful and distinct distillation of a world that is lost. And of course, yes, that same thing can happen in any culture, but this is the one that we're doing it with. And Letters to Far, both the film project and the CD, and when they're together, really shows this very interesting picture of how, yes, that world that formed this culture is gone, but the culture lives on, and it informs contemporary artists who are able to do new things while staying connected with it. Somehow, something about what you said reminded me of an anecdote that I heard. I don't know if it's true, but but as someone once said, never let the truth stand in the way of a good story. And the anecdote is that around the time of the Chinese occupation of Tibet, when the Tibetan people really were forced to be in diaspora, and their land is no longer their land, that some high-ranking people in the Tibetan Buddhist or religion organization talk to Jewish leaders, and they say, how has your people kept cultural, religious continuity for 2,000 years in exile? Because we don't know when our exile will end. And I think this question, and this is why I think about it, yes, to a certain tragic extent, the cultures of Afghanistan, the culture makers, if they survive, might have to be in exile, and we don't know how long. And whatever we can do to teach each other the tricks that we have all learned and that we practice to ensure cultural, linguistic, traditional continuity, then this is like kind of a gift that we can give each other, because in a sense it's the struggle we're all engaged in.
The other thing you should know about Letters to Afar is that we did do a couple of shows where we played live with parts of the installation. I think there were either 7 or 9 different stations in the installation dedicated to different cities. And so I think we did a show based on 5 of them, and we performed them live. And I hope that we'll get to do that again, because mounting the exhibition itself is really nice, but it's an expensive proposition. But if we could be doing this as a screening with live music, it would be great, and it worked really well. And for us to have an interaction with this material in a live situation was really great, and people would really appreciate it. And seeing some of these images for us is and for our audience is pretty, as you said, it's pretty profound.
It is.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It was a
Always,
pleasure.
Always, anytime. And we're going to close with Bitsen. What does Bitsen mean?
Jokes.
Oh,
Do you want to know something about this song?
yeah.
You can use it or not. So this is actually a song that came out of, again, another pandemic thing, is that some friends of mine set up a series of 15 concerts featuring 30 singers, each sharing a concert, 2 artists per concert. And it was one of the stipulations about these little shows was that we each had to premiere a new song. And I don't write all that many songs, but I started poking around, and I found that the anarchist poet David Edelstadt, who has given us many socialist anthems and anthems for social change, had written this little 4-verse poem about his dedication to what he does, and that he isn't able to be like, can't go to parties and be a jokester, and he can't be one of those kinds of people because he feels this need to be writing these songs that have thunder and lightning, and he can only weep pearl clean tears that are bright as the stars in heaven's blue crown. So I thought, well, gee, it's amazing that no one's actually ever set this to music. So I wrote music for this song, and then Janice Siegel from Manhattan Transfer was still hosting an online variety show that she does once a month called Vocal Gumbo, and she asked us to participate. So I said, okay, short of you actually singing something with the band, which I hope she'll do one of these days, we'll give you this song, this video to put on your show. And so we recorded it, in our various places. We mixed it. We sent her the video elements and the music, and they edited it together, and this is what we came up with.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Klezmatics with Bitsen. And keep it going. Keep the strength. You'll be well. And more shows all over the world.
Thank you.
Yes.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Wir kennen die Sorgen, Witzen kennen
Schwesterbrüder, es donnern und es blitzen, meine Freiheitslieder. Ihr kennt mit Sorgen, Witzen, keine Kampfen, Schwesterbrüder, es donnern und es blitzen, meine Freiheitslieder. Ich kenn nur Gießen, Tränen, Tränen, Perlrei, lichtig wie die Sterne, in himmelsblaue Krähe. Ich kenn nur Gießen, Tränen, Tränen, Perlrei, lichtig wie die Sterne, in himmelsblaue Krähe. Menschen, die verscherten mich. Ich kenn nur lieben Menschen, lieben mehr wie sie. Unamollig Menschen, heu die verscherten mich. Unamollig fluchen, heu die was lieben mich. Und sterben mir zu suchen, Freiheit liegt vor sie. Unamollig fluchen, die was lieben mich. Und sterben mir zu suchen, Oi Freiheit mit quasi Oi veio no tazei. Sorgen, Witzen, keine Krafen und Schwesterbrüder. Es donnern und es blitzen, oi meine Freiheitslieder. Ihr kennt Sorgen, Witzen, keine Krafen und Schwesterbrüder. Es donnern und es blitzen, oi meine Freiheitslieder. Unamollig fluchen, oi die was lieben mich. Und sterben mir zu suchen, Freiheit liegt vor sich. Unamollig fluchen, die was lieben mich, sterben mir zu suchen, und Freiheit liegt bei sich.